How dare you swear like that, Jordan?
Shit.
It's really rude.
And we are live. Welcome to NBA Live Before Lock. It is Friday, May 17th. I am Josh Engleman. He is Eric Lindquist. We're brought to you by Sleeper. Knicks, Pacers, Game 6. If the Pacers win, we get a 2-game slate on Sunday, the final 2-game slate of the NBA season. If the Pacers lose, well, that doesn't happen then. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow us both on Twitter. The good news is there's no chance that this game is worse than yesterday's game.
No, yesterday's game was awful, but in the best of ways if you're a Timberwolves fan. 45 points, years of aggression. I will say the weird part is that the blowout run didn't actually affect DFS. Isn't that kind of a strange thing? We were going back and forth a little bit. I was like, yeah, the 2K players, we talked about it for like 2.4 seconds. Where it's like, oh yeah, neither of us had them. But it didn't matter. It was like, it was exactly the lineup. I was 1v1 off of, or sorry, 2v2 off of like absolutely everything. Had the Naz Reid captain he needed. Had some Jaden McDaniels because of you and the captain. So I appreciate you for that. But
he salvaged for me. I had a decent enough lineup, but once everybody got pulled, I had no chance. But I doubled up. I had whatever lineup that I had won like $150 on the $4. So, awesome.
Just another showdown, though, with stochastic avatars plastered at the top of leaderboards. It's starting to be just a common phenomenon. It's almost like the Sims tool is something you guys should still be having throughout this entire NBA season. And I think today is the last day of promo code Edwards, if I do recall. So I would be firing that up here. We've got 26 minutes to break down this slate. Should be pretty quick, pretty easy. But the best thing you can do for yourself is get that for a super low price. Because, again, I'm going to be one of those stochastic avatars just based off of sheer numbers and volume here over the course of this Western Conference, Eastern Conference Finals into the NBA Finals. You'll want to get access to it now while it's cheap.
Couldn't have said it better myself. $19.99, and it ends today. The promo code is Edwards. Get projections, ownership, boom bust, sims, post-contest sims, premium Discord, and more. Everything that exists on the NBA side, you get it for 1/3 of the normal price. And if you don't take advantage of this deal right now, you will wake up tomorrow morning and it will no longer exist. Now, at the captain spot for today, Jalen Brunson is pulling 1/4 of the ownership. Tyrese Halliburton in and around 15%. Siakam, Hart, both around 10. Everybody else in the single digits. Do you have a captain that stands out most to you?
Yes, there is no doubt that it is, for me tonight, Jalen Brunson.
Ooh, okay.
I get that he's pulling the ownership, and it's like, oh, Eric, you didn't like Jokic yesterday. Why do you like him today? I think based off of what we've seen for the first 5 games, like, hey, apparently everybody's just going to hold serve the whole way. But I feel as though we're not going to get to like 26% captain ownership on Brunson still. And there's one guy that I'm just curious to see where Isaiah Jackson ends up. It was kind of a weird, wonky blowout script. And I see his ownership is like 26%, which is, you know, I think about appropriate. But like, I am way over on Isaiah Jackson right now, where if this game plays out competitively, we've got 14, 15 minutes of him. And he's kind of like my stand sub 3K, sub 4K, really. And as such, I have more Jalen Brunson just because I'm way overweight to him and Hartenstein. Hartenstein 7,200, cheaper than the Hart, Siakam, DiVincenzo, Turner, Halliburton. A lot of players above him there, and I have nearly 100% Hartenstein in the utility. So for me, I have no issue getting to Brunson. I still think there's some things I can do to be unique. I don't have to jam Halliburton. I don't have to jam Hart, Siakam. I can leave some salary on the table on a couple of those Brunson lineups. And as such, I have 35% of him in my 20 lineups.
Okay. I am not getting to Jalen Brunson at the captain spot.
So you're doing the same thing as yesterday for the most part. Like the Jokic / that, get different.
Yeah, I'm flat everywhere. I basically don't have stands in the aggregate for anybody. The only guy that I am massively under the field on is Isaiah Jackson.
Are you kidding me?
Dude, I swear. He's the only guy of all the guys that are getting any real ownership. I'm within 10% on all of them, except for Isaiah Jackson, who I don't have.
That is so funny. What are you doing with Ben Shepherd?
I have 12% of him at the utility spot.
Okay. That
But I have
is
like right now
very ironic.
I basically have the exact same amount of all of these captains. Tyrese Halliburton, Pascal Siakam, Miles Turner, Josh Hart, Isaiah Hartenstein, Miles McBride. They're all
So
in
who do
like
you have the most
15.
of? Who do you have the most of at captain?
Technically, it's Halliburton, Turner, and Hart all with the exact same amount.
Okay.
They're all 17% owned for me at the captain spot. Turner's the guy that I like
Interesting.
the most relative to ownership that people aren't getting to. Because I think that he could have a massive day today, and he makes I'm a little bit more interested in him at the captain than I am anybody else, just from like an ownership perspective.
I have 15% of him in captain, so I'd be okay with that. I'm double the
Yeah.
field. So yeah, for me, I'm okay with that. For me, I just think the minutes have been so volatile in this series. And you could say the same thing about the Minnesota-Denver series. It's just been like a second round series where we're just seeing inconsistent minutes to such an extreme. And the algorithm doesn't really know what to do with them pricing wise. And so for me, I'm playing a lot of these centers. I like Turner. I like Isaiah Hartenstein. I think for me, it's just Isaiah Jackson, the fantasy point per minute rate. That's kind of setting him up where lineups where I would have landed on Shepard, I would have landed on Achua. I'm just opting for Isaiah Jackson and leaving salary on the table over and over and over again. And a lot of that is Jalen Brunson and the captain. So that is my path for today.
I'm just really nervous about Isaiah Jackson's rotations last time out. He played 2 minutes and 16 seconds in the first half of the last game. That is
But it
a
was
very scary first half rotation.
I I get it, but also it got so wonky. I feel like if this one stays in check the whole way through, we still get 10 minutes on a floor, don't you? Like they're
I
not
don't
going to
know.
dust off Jalen Smith. You think they might just because I mean this
So
is
here's the
serious to
thing.
consider. Go
I
ahead.
don't think they care if they have Obi Toppin on the floor as their center if Precious Achua is on as the center.
That's true. I probably agree with that. And obviously they played 6 minutes of overlap, I believe, Hartenstein and Precious, correct?
31 for Hartenstein, 23 for Precious. So yeah, about 6 minutes.
Okay, I did it this morning and I can't remember exactly what the exact number was. That's what I thought it was, but Hartenstein is, going to play a little bit alongside Precious, where I still think that that's my path to getting Isaiah Jackson minutes, but I guess I should probably reconsider that a little bit. One of the most powerful things.
He's the one guy I don't have, so I'm sure he's the guy that smashes today. So take that into account.
That is the spirit, Josh. That's what we're going for. I jammed Nasrid yesterday. That was the discussion.
I did not.
I know. So I guess I'll just keep the for Isaiah Jackson right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm at least going to reconsider this and take a look here again. My favorite quality in people is when they're able to say I'm wrong, and it's like for me, I can reconsider and change my stance here. That's kind of what these shows are for you and I.
He has
for
that
everybody
path.
else, it's
like if any Miles Turner foul trouble, I think you're just getting more playing time for Jackson. They could just simply play Jackson 12 minutes like he had been playing in every other game other than that previous game. And at that point in time, like you're very happy to get him at 2,400 at the utility. I actually had a bunch more earlier today, and I cut him by a minute just because of that first half rotation from the last game. And by cutting him by a minute, that's my swing piece from either like meeting the field or not having him at all. He is a very volatile value option to me.
okay. Yeah, he's volatile for sure, but I think that that's kind of what I'm embracing to get unique and to have the salary on the table for those Brunson lineups. And I have Turner in a lot of those lineups. I don't have an issue with it. It's like, hopefully you're just getting 48 minutes of a center, not a given. Obviously, Obi Toppin coming in, you're probably getting 40 minutes, 42 minutes maybe of probably a little bit more. I'd be hoping for 44 with the way that my lineups look of that being the center position, Obi Toppin playing some at the 5, but probably more. I should probably trim that. I don't know. Now I'm reconsidering a little bit because this is just such a good fantasy point per minute producer. And, like you land on Shepard, it's like, all right, I'll just turn all the Shepard into Jackson over and over again and constantly live and die by it. But mean, most people are going to Jackson over Shepard anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
You know what most people should do?
Oh my God.
I'm very confident in this. Most people should get OddsShopper for $1. And do you know how you can get OddsShopper for one solitary dollar? It's very simple, guys. You use the promo code FREESCOTTY. Scotty Scheffler in the clink today, everybody. But for him being in the clink, that means we get to give you guys a promo. This only exists today. Free Scotty is the code. 1 week of OddsShopper Premium for $1. It's a market-based approach to beating the books and the pick'em sites. You get expected value, expected win rates, parlay builders, odds boost calculators, optimizers for the pick'em sites, live odds screen, tons of data, whatever you're looking for. Shop around for the best lines. You could get it at OddsShopper, and for today only, you can get it for $1. Shout out Scotty Scheffler.
Shout out Scotty Scheffler for shooting 5 under after the most fucked up morning in the history of mornings.
It had to be so staggering to him.
He might also especially just be a cyborg.
I'm sure he's never been in any trouble ever.
Absolutely not. I hope somebody comes and offers like $10 million for that body cam footage or something. Like, we will pay for everything forever. Just give us the body cam footage. And then, you know, I'm sure, I don't know. I'm just so curious. I'm so curious about everything that happened in that 5 minutes between him veering over and the ESPN guy, Jeff, that grabbed the camera and had the entire thing. I just need to know that 5 minutes so badly, because he was so calm getting handcuffed and he didn't name drop himself, which I find to be just insane. Because like, if you're the #1 golfer in the world and you are live for the career Grand Slam, not just career Grand Slam, a yearly Grand Slam with how he's playing, don't you say something about who you are?
They had to know. Like, I would just assume that everybody knew that I was Scotty Scheffler at the golf course where I got fucking pulled over in the PGA car.
Nope. I gotta imagine there's a lot of cops and a lot of people in general in Kentucky and elsewhere who don't know who Scotty Scheffler is. I mean, we have our bubble. I think he's pretty known amongst people who like sports. Sure, there's a lot of cops who don't like sports, or people who don't like sports. I don't really care to know them, and they're not my audience. They don't know me, and I don't know them. But like, it is what it is. It's just, anyway, it's just an insane thing. Just an insane day.
What do you want at the utility spot? Let's transition out of Free Scotty. Free Scotty, by the way.
Free Scotty. Free Scotty. Take advantage. $1 for OS. That's fantastic stuff. Utility. Is that what we're going to?
It is. I have nobody to talk about. I'm right at the field on every single one of these dudes except for Isaiah Jackson. This is the weirdest slate I've ever played.
100% Isaiah Jackson for me. So we are on complete opposite ends of the spectrum with it. For me, he's the cheapest player that I think plays rotation minutes, and I'm just jamming him as a result in all of the Brunson captain lineups. I don't think there's anything interesting that I have to say for it other than that. I have him 1 fantasy point behind Achua. I have him 3 fantasy points ahead of Shepard. I have him 6 fantasy points behind Toppin, but Toppin is pulling double the ownership mostly. So, I mean, we have Toppin way different than a lot of spots. I'm looking at.
Hey, we just got a projections and ownership update. Not that I'm expecting like a lot of things, but the ownership update went in 30 seconds ago. So just in case you want to refresh.
Flick this. Yep. Thank you. Thank you.
I don't anticipate it mattering. Nothing's changed, you know.
Let's say Jackson 24%, Toppin 24.2. I'm seeing some different disparity. I find it hard to believe that Jackson is going to pull the same ownership as Toppin. If that's the case, I should just get away from some of this Jackson, cap him at 50, and then just play more Toppin, which I'm totally allowed to do because there's 13 minutes left.
Yeah. I mean, I think Ben Shepard's starting to become sneaky if he's really 5% owned. Played a lot of. He looked. It's crazy because this is not his pedigree, but he looked better on Brunson than Nembhard did because he can just be a little bit longer. I don't know what that ends up meaning, but I'm happy to have at least a little bit of Ben Shepard. But Halliburton, I'm neutral. Siakam, neutral. Brunson, I do have a lot at the utility in lieu of the captain spot, but that's just sort of how that's going to work. I'm not just going to like full fade him. Neutral to Hart, neutral to DiVincenzo, neutral to Hartenstein, neutral to TJ McConnell. Like everything's just neutral. I'm trying to find the most unique lineups of all the dudes and I'm not really taking a stand. It's the most unique slate I've ever played.
Ben Shepherd is, I mean, he's shooting the three a lot better than he did during the regular season. 31.4% during the regular season. What's he up to now here? 34.4% overall when you include the playoffs over his last 10. No, his last 4 games here, we're sitting where, what, 43% from three? And as you said, he's longer. At Belmont, that was kind of his calling card. I had a lot of golfers from Sioux Falls that went to Belmont, so it's randomly a team that I've watched play a lot of basketball. I know that he was the stud there, and he's like 6'6", 6'7". Like, he's a big dude. As you said, he looked better because he's longer than a Nemhard who's all of 6'4", 6'5". Like, I don't think he plays that big even. He's supposed to be the defender, though. That's such the ironic part is Andrew Nemhard is like legitimately a good defender by pretty much every metric. But I know what you're saying from game 5. He didn't look nearly as good, but it can also be a small sample size thing where Nemhard's on the floor for, or hopefully on the floor for 35-ish minutes for the Pacers every single time out, maybe more. And then, Ben Shepherd's just a spark plug guy, or supposed to be. So
I'm running my final run right now.
Me too. I'm gonna
Brunson, McBride, DiVincenzo, Hart, and Hartenstein, by the way. That came out.
Jericho Sims could come off the bench and score 25. No, he couldn't. If he does, I will quit. That would
literally cannot happen.
Suck. If it happens,
cannot happen.
I will.
It can't happen.
I'll quit. I'll quit my job if Jericho Sims scores 25.
Jericho Sims won't play 25 seconds unless this game is a gigantic blowout.
And Precious Achiuwa dies on the floor, and Isaiah Hartenstein has 48 fouls in the first quarter. Like, there's really no path.
No.
There's no path.
No. He won't be playing. He has shown that he can't play. That one's just not happening.
Nope.
All right, final run. Let's see what it looks like. Good. I refreshed my sheet and it didn't freeze. That is always the best possible outcome.
Let's go. Running better than Scotty Scheffler. Run better than Scotty.
He's going to be running pretty. Oh, wow. That major changes at the captain spot. I now have a stand on Miles Turner at captain.
Oh, look at you. I made one stand on one player in a whole slate. Look at me. I'm Josh Engleman.
All the utility stuff is still largely the same. Look, I got quite a bit of Miles McBride at this point.
To be fair, I did play like 500 lineups tonight in MLB, and my highest owned stack is like 18%. So like, and it's like 10, 8, 8, 7, 6. I was going through it and I'm like, I'm a coward. I'm just an absolute coward. So
your words, not mine.
Well, I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, so right now I have 30% of Miles Turner at the captain spot.
That's a lot. Good for
that
you.
is the stand that I am making now, evidently.
I don't mind it.
Neither do I. Neither do I. He's the type of guy I would want.
Something to believe in, and he's your guy. He used to be your guy. Like when we first did shows 3 years ago. Miles Turner.
Still is. Still my guy.
Okay. Well, he forgot how to play fucking defense, so that's a problem. His Darko is shit now, so. What?
Pour one out for Darko.
Well, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, just, pour one out for the real Darko. Maybe I'm going to bump up Ben Shepherd a couple seconds here and see if that creates anything. By the way, shout out to Chris Williams for hitting us with 5 gifted subs to start off the show. And make sure you're hitting the like button to the 1,000 of you that are in here right now. It would be very nice if you guys were able to hit that like button. Wow, it is hard for me to get to more Ben Shepherd. That's just going to have to be what it is.
I'm going to upload this and go by these lineups on a case-by-case basis. I have one TJ McConnell captain lineup. All right. Ooh. All right. I have 0 Aaron Nesmith in the flex. That is surprising.
If I did that, Aaron Nesmith would be exceptional.
I have 0. So F that guy. Hope he gets arrested before the game starts.
I have 27% of him at the utility. And I also have him under 5 rebounds on Prize Picks today. Yeah. Speaking of Prize Picks, you changed your screen to something wrong.
Never. What? We have pick 6 in the top right corner.
Jordan, I thought it was sleeper. Is it pick 6?
I had sleeper before, and then I saw pick six was in the top right corner.
Maybe I just thought it was sleeper because you had sleeper.
Let's talk pick six, friends. Use promo code Lindy, Lindy. Promo code Lindy. If you guys want to play at the best up jump start place right now, go to DraftKings. Go to the pick six tab. Use promo code Lindy when you sign up. And guess what? You're going to get yourself some goodness. $5 turns into $50 in pick six credits. So do you want to 10x your money on a $5 investment? Seems like a good start. But secondly, this is peer-to-peer. This is the shit, and this is why you want to be here. You get to compete against people and not a house. And over any long-term sample size, ask any top DFS player, they would rather play against you sitting at home than against a computer algorithm and a bunch of the Harvard nerds out in Vegas or the Caribbean or in England or wherever the hell they might be. All the sharp action. You want to be going peer-to-peer because there is such an edge to doing it. You can think about ownership from a DFS perspective and intertwine it with OddsShopper and all of the products that we have over there. You have an opportunity, friends, to be able to put together some incredibly positive EV lineups. Today, for me on Pick 6, I'm getting away from anything that has to do with more for Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Halliburton. My favorite play overall, less than 30.5 points plus assists, a brand new category on Pick 6 for Tyrese Halliburton. He's at 19.5 points. He's at 8.5 assists. You combine those together, that's 28. That gives you 2.5 for a cushion. It's 2 points difference that we're talking about between traditional sports books and Pick 6 for their projection. It's an incredible opportunity to jump in now and make yourself some damn money. So use promo code LINDY, bet $5 on anything that you want for the NBA tonight, and get $50 in Pick 6 credits immediately. It's a great opportunity. That's all.
I couldn't have said that one better myself. Thank you.
I know.
Shout out Pick 6. Who are you fading? Who are your biggest fades? Let's hit on that before we get on out of here, because we are going to be exclusively live on Playback in 5 minutes. Go to playback.tv/Stochastic. Come watch the game along with us. We'll be there at least for the first half. And maybe the first half will be a little bit better than the first half was yesterday. We have 40 VIP passes to give out as well, so you guys can watch the game along with us. Who you fading?
I have 0 Precious Achiuwa.
I have 7% of Precious Achiuwa.
I have 0% Andrew Nembhard.
I have 17% of Andrew Nembhard.
I have 10% Aaron Nesmith now.
I have 27% Aaron Nesmith. I hope he gets there without rebounds.
I have 20% Miles Turner in the captain. I have 20% Miles Turner in the flex.
I have 30 and 30.
So there you go. There's my stands. Having a little under in the utility there. Have 0 Achiuwa. I do think in like a neutral game script, more likely than anything, we're going to see Hartenstein play 34 plus minutes. We're going to see 14-ish minutes for Precious Achiuwa, who's not a good fantasy producer. I think there's a minutes downside there based on what we saw during those 2 games in Indy where Precious Achiuwa started. It was a disaster, stone cold disaster. Lots of ways where if they aren't off to a hot start like we saw last time, we're putting the gauntlet down in the second half. Precious Achiuwa does not get to 15, 16 minutes. And off the bench, I think it's far more likely for me. That's a big stand that I have.
Favorite FanDuel plays? Darren Unger super chat.
We can do that. Maybe make a FanDuel lineup.
Brunson in the star for sure.
Yep. If you wanted to get different, Halliburton, I don't hate on the road here, but let me just tell you how much better Brunson looked in game 5 than what he looked in games 3 and 4. He was obviously dinged up games 3 and 4. Yes.
I like Miles Turner on FanDuel. If he's going to be 3% at the MVP, I think he's live to be the highest scorer if you're trying to be different. But I mean, Brunson's 42% in the MVP spot. He is the natural selection there to be the highest scorer on this slate.
Oh, bringing Darwinism into this program. Edgy.
DiVincenzo is like, I don't like playing him in the utility and he's getting no ownership there. He's either getting a multiplier or not going to be rostered. I think that's very interesting to think about.
Agreed.
Jay asked the question, Hart and Burks are Halliburton, Ben Shepherd. I assume that was supposed to be or, but
yeah,
we'll let that go. Halliburton and Ben Shepherd for me.
Yep, Halliburton, Ben Shepherd. We got 3 minutes, by the way. Upload your lineups.
Mine are in. Malcolm, Eric, who is your captain on DraftKings?
Brunson.
Crazy.
Sorry, I'm chalk donkey today.
Today.
Fuck right off. That's not
The
nice.
donkey of all donkeys.
Yeah, that's me.
Meow.
Just W-2 and 1099 every year for the last 8. No big deal. Don't mind me.
Oh, bother.
Oh, Eeyore. Oh, Eric. Oh.
Oh, man. This is such a weird slate, man. Everything is just so flat. I'm really curious to see how much the public moves some of these ownership numbers and we just get somebody like wildly different for no reason. Because I mean, these two, we're in game 6. These two teams don't really change up their shit all that frequently. Like, we kind of know what we're getting out of the Pacers and the Knicks at this point, and I think that's why we're seeing such flat ownership everywhere.
It's where we're kind of also not talking about it from like a high level perspective where at this point in time, what you're trying to do is avoid duplication. Like, for me, that's really what I'm trying to do today. And I still think there's a path for Brunson. There wasn't a lot of paths for Jokic yesterday. And obviously that worked out really, 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 really well, where you wanted 0 Jokic in the captain. So I'm okay if you wanted to try to take that path again today, but I am inclined. I did trim it down. I capped Jackson. How many did I get with Jackson in the end? I just uploaded the lineups here. 45 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So yeah, I ended up 50% on Jackson.
Well, there we go. We have reached the end of the show. We are heading to playback right now. So please come and join us. If the Pacers win tonight, we get a 2-game slate on Sunday. And I think we all want one final 2-game slate on a Sunday, plus PGA on Sunday. Should make it a very, very nice sporting day. Plus baseball. Lots going on. And I'm sure there's hockey, but who cares? Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. We are out of here. See you guys on playback right now.
That might be the fastest show in the history